welcome. Tonight, this story is for the ones who are ready to receive, the ones who can feel something good moving toward them, even when they cannot yet see what it is. The ones who have been quietly, slowly opening to the possibility that life is more spacious than they were taught. If you are inside your Jupiter Mahadasha, this episode is for you. If your Jupiter period is approaching, this episode is for you too. And if you have lived through one already, and remember the years when teachers appeared, when meaning arrived, when the world somehow widened around you, you are welcome here as well. Before we begin, give yourself a moment. There is no hurry. Jupiter does not hurry. The whole night is yours. Let your shoulders drop. Just a little. Notice the weight of your head against the pillow. Notice the soft warmth at the base of your skull where the pillow meets your hair. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Notice the small, soft rise and fall of your own breath without trying to change it. You don't have to do anything for the next half hour. You don't have to follow this perfectly. If your mind drifts, that is part of the listening too. Take a slow breath in through your nose and let it out through soft lips longer than the inhale. Again, slower this time. Let your belly rise gently as the air comes in. Let your shoulders fall as the air goes out. And one more. Letting your jaw soften. Letting your tongue rest gently behind your teeth. Letting your eyebrows unknit. Letting the small muscles around your eyes go quiet. Letting your hands open very slightly where they rest beside you. One last breath. Let it be the slowest one yet. Notice how the air feels at the tip of your nose as it comes in. Notice the small pause at the top of the inhale before the exhale begins. Notice how the body, when given permission, knows exactly what to do. Good. Now settle in. In the old Vedic tradition, the night sky was mapped into 9 influences. 7 of them are bodies you can see: the Sun, the Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn. The other 2 are mathematical shadows called Rahu and Ketu. Tonight we sit with Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest of the visible planets, the biggest body in the solar system after the Sun itself. From the Earth, Jupiter looks like a steady, warm, slightly golden light, hanging in the sky with a kind of confidence the smaller stars do not have. In Sanskrit, Jupiter is called Brihaspati, which means Lord of Prayer or Master of Speech. Brihaspati was the priest and teacher of the gods themselves. The mythology is poetic. Jupiter is not just a planet. Jupiter is the part of the universe that teaches, blesses, expands, and gives. Jupiter is the friend of life. Jupiter is the part of you that hopes, the part of you that trusts, the part of you that can meet a stranger and feel curiosity rather than suspicion, the part of you that finds meaning in books, in conversations, in the long arc of your own story, the part of you that gives easily because giving feels natural. Jupiter is also the part of you that knows there is something larger. Not necessarily a religious god, although for many people that is exactly the form. Just something larger than the small daily worries. A wider sky, a longer view, a warmth that holds the whole. In the system called Vimshottari Dasha, each of the 9 influences holds the steering of your life for a number of years. The Sun for 6, the Moon for 10, Mars for 7, Rahu for 18, Jupiter for 16, Saturn for 19, Mercury for 17, Venus for 20, and Ketu for 7. Jupiter's stretch is 16 years, almost 2 decades, given over to the most generous teacher in the system. The teacher who says, you are not in this alone. Help is on its way. Trust the help when it arrives. Jupiter Mahadashas are often the seasons people look back on as the happiest stretches of their lives. Not always the most exciting, not always the most dramatic, but the most spacious, the most meaningful, the most blessed. Now imagine this. You are walking in the late afternoon light up a long stone path. The path winds gently up the side of a quiet green hill. The light is golden, the kind of light that comes only in the hour before sunset. The air is soft. The hill smells of rain that fell yesterday, and warm grass, and a far-off chimney burning slow wood. At the top of the hill you can see a building. Not a temple, exactly, although it has the dignity of one. A library, an old, wide, beautifully made library, with stone walls and a copper roof that has gone soft green with age. Tall windows, the doors are open. You walk up, you step inside. The library is bigger than it looked from outside, the way generous places sometimes are. The walls are lined floor to ceiling with books in every language. There are reading tables under each window. The afternoon light streams in and lays itself across the wooden floors in long golden stripes. There are deep chairs in the corners. There are quiet plants. The air smells of paper and beeswax and old tea. An old librarian looks up when you come in. They nod kindly, the way you nod at someone you have been expecting. They do not say much. They simply gesture toward a particular table, in a particular alcove, lit by a particular window. On the table, there is a single book waiting for you. Open, already on the right page. You understand, in the way you sometimes understand things in dreams, that the book is the part of your life Jupiter is opening for you next. The wisdom, the meaning, the knowledge you did not know you were looking for. The librarian is Jupiter. You sit down. The chair is exactly the right size. You begin to read. This is the work of a Jupiter Mahadasha. 16 years of being led, gently and without pressure, to one book after another, one teacher after another, one conversation after another, each one slightly bigger than the last, each one expanding what you thought possible. The library does not ask you to hurry. The library knows that wisdom is not earned by speed. The library has all the time in the world. There is a second image worth holding tonight, alongside the library. Picture a teacher you do not yet know, somewhere in the world right now, going about an ordinary day. They have not met you. You have not met them. But the threads of life are slowly drawing the two of you toward the same room. It might be a real human being, a teacher in a school, a wise older friend, a grandparent of a friend, a stranger on a long train journey, a therapist, a mentor at work, a spiritual teacher in a tradition you have not yet discovered, a children's book author whose words will land in your hands one quiet evening. It might be a teacher in book form, a philosophy that arrives at exactly the right moment, a poem you stumble across in a coffee shop, a spiritual text that someone hands you, a documentary on a slow Sunday afternoon. Jupiter sends teachers. That is one of the great mysterious functions of this Mahadasha. Whoever you most need to meet in the years of this Dasha will appear. You will not have to chase them. You will not have to manufacture the meeting. The threads will draw. Your job is just to recognize them when they arrive, to not be too busy, to not be too proud, to not be too certain that you already know. If you carry one practice through these 16 years, let it be this: stay open. The teacher is on their way. Sometimes they look exactly like the kind of person you would expect. Sometimes they look like a child, or an old enemy, or a passing stranger who says one thing that changes the next decade of your life. Stay open. In the first phase of Jupiter Mahadasha, in roughly the first 3 years, you may notice the world beginning to widen. Doors open that you did not knock on. Conversations turn easy in places that used to feel hard. People you barely know offer kindnesses for no reason you can identify. You may receive an unexpected opportunity, a gift, an introduction, an invitation, a piece of information that changes a small but important detail of your life. This is Jupiter saying hello. The early phase often comes with a quiet sense of relief, as if you have been working hard against the grain for a long time and life has finally turned to face you. The headwind has shifted. The current is now flowing in the same direction you are walking. In this phase, you may begin to find yourself drawn to learning. Not learning as a chore, the way school made it. Learning as a hunger. You want to read. You want to study. You want to understand how things actually work. You want to know what philosophers and saints and scientists thought about the questions that have been quietly visiting you for years. Follow the hunger. Buy the books. Take the course. Find the teacher. Jupiter is opening a door, and the door has your name written above it, in a script only you can read. In the second phase, in roughly years 4 through 7, the teachers begin to appear in earnest. A friendship deepens, and you realize that this person has been quietly mentoring you for a year without either of you naming it. A book ends up in your hands and changes the next 10 years. A workshop, a retreat, a course, a community of practice opens up to you and feels immediately like home. You may also notice in this phase that your generosity grows. Not because you are forcing yourself to be a good person, because the natural temperature of your inner life has gone up, and warmth in the inner world expresses itself as giving. You give time, you give attention, you give the benefit of the doubt, you give unsolicited help, and it lands well because it comes from a real place. This is one of Jupiter's quiet teachings. That generosity is not an effort. Generosity is what happens automatically when a person feels held. Jupiter holds you. You give from there. In the third phase, in roughly years 8 through 11, the body of knowledge starts to take shape. What began as scattered curiosity, a bit of this and a bit of that, begins to organize itself into a coherent worldview. You start to see how different traditions of thought connect. You start to see how your own personal experiences map onto the wisdom of those who walked before you. You begin to have things to say about the questions that mattered to you when this Mahadasha began. Real things, earned things, not borrowed. Other people begin to notice. Younger friends, colleagues, even strangers start to ask you for your perspective on things. You do not seek this. It just begins to happen. The accumulated weight of your reading and reflection has started to show gently in the way you carry yourself. You may also receive, somewhere in this phase, an invitation to teach in some way, formally or informally, a request to speak, a request to write, a request to mentor someone younger. Whatever form the invitation takes, take it seriously. Jupiter is asking you to begin returning what you have been given. In the fourth phase, in roughly years 12 through 14, the giving back becomes the main work. You become a person other people gather around. Not always many people, sometimes just a small steady circle. But the circle is real, and the people in it grow because of you, and you grow because of them. This is the deepest possible kind of social wealth. It cannot be bought. It cannot be performed. It is built only across years of patient, honest exchange. You may begin in this phase to feel a quiet joy that is hard to explain to people who have not been to a Jupiter Mahadasha. The joy of having been given much and being able to give in return. The joy of seeing meaning where you used to see only events. The joy of trusting life enough to relax into it. Jupiter teaches a specific kind of trust. Not the naive trust that everything will go well. The mature trust that whatever does happen, you will have the inner resources to meet it. That trust is built across the years of this dasha, slowly, the way muscles are built. By the end of this phase, you have it as a permanent feature of your character. In the fifth and final phase, in years 15 and 16, you complete. The Mahadasha has given what it came to give. The library has shown you the books it had for you. The teachers have arrived, taught their lessons, and many of them have moved on. The body of wisdom you have been gathering is now simply who you are. You no longer have to study to become it. You have become it by long, quiet returning to the same questions. You walk back down the stone path that leads from the library on the hill. The light is still golden, the air is still soft, but you are different, lighter somehow, slower in the way wise people are slower, more generous in the way people who have been given much become naturally generous. 16 years of expansion, 16 years of meeting teachers, 16 years of being held by something larger than your daily plans. There's something I want to say before we move towards sleep. If you are inside your Jupiter Mahadasha right now, please hear this. The good things that have been happening to you are not luck. The kind people who have shown up in your life are not coincidences. The doors that have opened were opened on purpose by a part of the universe that has been quietly working on your behalf. You can receive this. You are allowed to. The voice inside that whispers, "Surely I do not deserve this," is the voice of an older fear. Jupiter is gently asking you to retire that voice just for these 16 years and let yourself be held. Receiving is a skill. It looks easy from outside, but for many people it is the hardest skill of all. Jupiter teaches it through repetition. Each kindness that arrives, you practice receiving. Each opportunity, you practice receiving. Each compliment, each gift, each teacher, each blessing, each unexpected piece of good fortune, you practice receiving. By the end of the Mahadasha, you will have learned how to be given to without flinching. This is one of the most underrated graces in any human life. If you are inside your Jupiter Mahadasha and still feeling stuck, struggling, not yet seeing the abundance, please be patient. Jupiter sometimes takes a year or two to fully arrive, especially if Saturn or another harder teacher has just finished their stretch. The system is recalibrating. Your inner doors, after years of necessary defense, are slowly being persuaded to open. They will. The library is real. The librarian is on their way. The book is being placed on the table now. You do not need to figure out how to make it happen. You only need to keep walking up the hill. Let me name a few of the gifts that arrive during a Jupiter Mahadasha. Some you receive while it is happening. Some you only recognize afterward. The first gift is the gift of meaning. Before this season, life may have felt like a string of events. Plans, problems, routines, occasional pleasures. After Jupiter, life feels more like a story. The same events, but with thread running through them. The thread is meaning. Once installed, it does not leave. The second gift is the gift of recognized teachers. By the end of the Mahadasha, you can spot a teacher across a crowded room. Sometimes they are the obvious wise older person. Sometimes they are a child. Sometimes they are a difficult colleague. You learn to recognize the function regardless of the form. This recognition stays with you forever. The third gift is the gift of generosity that is not a strain. Many people perform generosity early in life, hoping to be loved. Jupiter teaches the difference between performed generosity and rooted generosity. After Jupiter, your giving does not deplete you. It refills you. This is one of the deepest indicators that your inner life has been genuinely transformed. The fourth gift is the gift of philosophical breadth. By the end of the Mahadasha, you can hold multiple traditions, multiple worldviews, multiple ways of being human, without needing to declare one of them the winner. You become someone who can say "and" instead of "but." This is a rare and quiet form of intelligence, and Jupiter alone gives it. The fifth gift is the gift of optimism that survives evidence. Hard things still happen during a Jupiter Mahadasha. The Dasha is not a force field, but your relationship to hard things changes. You stop seeing them as proof that life is bad. You start seeing them as part of a life that is mostly good. The optimism is not naive, it is informed. The sixth gift is the gift of a wider circle. The friendships and mentorships built during a Jupiter Mahadasha last. Some of them outlast the Mahadasha by decades. Some of them outlast you. You become part of a quiet network of people who are connected to you by something deeper than convenience. The seventh and final gift, the deepest one, is the gift of trust in life itself. Not trust that life will always do what you want. Trust that life is, on balance, on your side. That when you walk forward in good faith, the path does, in fact, meet you. This trust is the most precious psychological possession a person can have. It cannot be argued into being. It can only be earned by long-lived experience of being met. Jupiter is the season where that experience accumulates faster than at any other point in your life. So tonight, as you let this episode carry you towards sleep, leave the book open on the library table. The librarian will be here in the morning. The book will still be on the right page. The light will still be slanting in through the window. Nothing you have learned tonight is lost. Breathe in slowly through the nose and out, slower still, through soft lips. Breathe in and out. You are safe, you are held, you are exactly on time. If your Jupiter Mahadasha is ahead of you, you are being prepared. The library is being arranged. The books that have your name written in them are being placed on the shelves. The teachers who will find you are still being made ready in their own lives for their own crossing toward yours. Trust the preparation. If you are inside it now, you are being given to. The giving is real. Receive it. The skill of being given to is part of the Mahadasha's curriculum. You are practicing it tonight. Even by listening to this voice telling you that you are loved by something larger. If your Jupiter Mahadasha is behind you, you are already richer than you know. Look at your life now and see the meaning that is woven through it. See the teachers who may have moved on or stayed. See the philosophies you carry. See the generosity that comes naturally now, where once it took effort. See the trust. That was Jupiter's gift. You earned it the gracious way, which is the only way Jupiter lets you earn it. Let me leave you with a few quiet truths. You don't have to remember them. Let them just pass through. You are allowed to receive. Receiving is not weakness. You are allowed to be helped. Help is not charity. Help is what life does when it's running well. You are allowed to find life beautiful. Beauty is not a luxury. Beauty is information. You are allowed to trust. Trust is not naive. Trust is the natural state of a person who has been met enough times to remember. You are allowed to be guided. The teachers are real. They are walking toward you even now. You are allowed to give back in the form that is natural to you. The world receives your gifts, even when you cannot see how. There is nothing you need to figure out before you fall asleep. The library is closing for the night. The lamps are being turned down. The afternoon light has long since folded itself away. The librarian has gone home. The book on your table is being saved exactly as you left it for tomorrow. So can you be saved exactly as you are for tomorrow? Tomorrow the morning light will come back. It always does. The kettle will come back. The small, ordinary kindness of waking will come back. And the path up the hill, when you return to it, will be one step further along than it was today. That is enough. One step further is always enough. Let the breath get smaller. Let the room get further away. Let this voice fade into the soft hum behind it. Notice the weight of your body in the bed, the temperature of the sheets, the soft sound of your own breathing, the dark, steady night holding the whole house. The dark, steady sky holding the whole house, the whole street, the whole city, the whole library on the hill. You are safe. You are held. You are loved by something older than your worries and wider than your plans. The expansion is not happening to you. The expansion is happening for you. The teachers are not appearing to test you. The teachers are appearing to bless you. Rest now. Let the breath get smaller still. Let your face soften. Let your eyelids feel heavy. Let the small muscles around your jaw release. Let the small muscles around your hands release. Let the small muscles in your feet release. Let the part of you that has been climbing the hill all day release, just for tonight, just for one quiet night, into the bed and into the dark. You are the reader. You are also the librarian. You are also the book. You are everything the library is offering, and you are also already whole, exactly as you are, before any reading has been done. Both things can be true. They are. May your sleep be deep. May your dreams be kind. May the morning find you both wiser and more open in whatever combination your soul most needs. Good night, friend. Good night.